What's up, guys? It's Benny. Word of the wise, free, cheap, easy piece of advice for any elite or powerful person who wants to keep a dark secret close to the chest. Don't piss off James O'Keefe. The guy, just continues to deliver W's. They pissed off James O'Keefe by killing Virginia Roberts. Virginia Roberts was the foremost whistleblower on Jeffrey Epstein and his sextortion ring, probably run by the CIA and Mossad. She sued Prince Andrew for 3 different times that she was sex trafficked to him. They settled with her, which is unbelievable. Millions, tens of millions of pounds. Virginia Roberts went on mass global media tours exposing who Jeffrey Epstein was, talking about some of the darkest, most satanic and evil people on earth. For that, of course, there were lots of threats on her life. Virginia Roberts continually said, "I'm not suicidal. If something happens to me, for the sake of my family, do not let it go. Protect them. Too many evil people want to see me quieted," says Virginia Roberts. Well, what happened next? After the payout from the royal family, and here on the eve of us learning little bits and pieces about Jeffrey Epstein, and slowly but surely the mosaic and the clues are starting to come together, she's killed. She's killed. Nameless, faceless people tell us that it's a suicide. They provide zero evidence of that. Her father and her lawyer says it wasn't a suicide. No way. And here she is saying, "I'm not suicidal." This is, of course, just days after she was hit by a bus in the middle of the Australian outback, the absolute wilderness, and given a few days to live by doctors. Very strange circumstances. Boy, what famous royal family kills people in car accidents? It really makes you, it's a head scratcher there. James O'Keefe says, "I think it's time for citizen journalists to release more on Epstein. If they're going to kill us, they're going to have to kill us all." Coming soon. And sure enough, James followed through by releasing video of a royal advisor, pretty much like a family member to the royal family, saying Prince Andrew was totally effing underage girls. He's on camera saying it. We played the video. Okay. Well, what happens next? James O'Keefe released a coordinate. What is that coordinate aligned to? Well, Jeffrey Epstein's house on Little St. James. The famous island, right? You can't escape it. This is the house. This is where the creepy temple site was. What was that all about? Anybody ever shown you inside of the temple? Anybody ever seen inside of any of this? There's been people who've flown drones on the island and stuff. Some YouTubers have been able to, crawl across the island here and there. But nobody's ever shown you the inside of any of these buildings. James O'Keefe is starting to do just that. James O'Keefe is showing us more than the federal government ever has. Isn't that wild? He began by showing us the creepy image inside of Jeffrey Epstein's kitchen. And this is the kitchen in Jeffrey Epstein's mansion there on the island. And it included a very odd photo of a small naked baby in a sink. The only color image in the entire kitchen. The baby was playing with a strange-looking rattle. Behind the baby was a piece of Picasso artwork that last sold for $38 million at auction. Nobody knows where it is today. Here's the image right there. And the artwork is about, symbolism is big for these people. It's everything for these people. This is called Le Sesudage, which is the depiction of saving innocent people from drowning. And here you have a baby in a soon-to-be overflowed bathwater. Does it mean something? Of course it means something. James O'Keefe then continued into the cryptic library of Jeffrey Epstein, his office, it looks like, right? You see his table and the phone. And some books that had to do with Satanism. Very strange sculptures and statues. Like this. This is a pretty statues with bird heads, right? And black wings. This is satanic iconography. Also, again, like what can be seen as overtly sexualized imagery and iconography. And then we get to the new release from James O'Keefe, Jeffrey Epstein's bedroom. Oof. Here we go. Newly obtained images show speed dial labels on alleged sex trafficker's landline telephones, revealing his associates and who he called the most frequently from inside of his bedroom. Well, ladies and gentlemen, he has two lamps that show the globe, the world, right? And the revelations here are quite stunning. James, take it away.
Inside Epstein's bedroom, O'Keefe Media Group continues our exclusive tour of the private island formerly owned by the alleged sex trafficker Jeffrey Epstein, and looking inside each of the buildings on the island. Today we're going to bring you inside Jeffrey Epstein's bedroom. We've previously shown you the kitchen and the library, but in Epstein's bedroom, we've made our most dramatic discovery yet. Landline telephones that show pre-programmed speed dial buttons labeled with names. You see the phones on the side of the bedroom tables here. We're going to take a look at these phones and the names on them. But first, the room itself, sparsely furnished. On the desk, you see what's known as a phrenology skull. Phrenology is a debunked pseudoscience linking skull shape to personality traits. On one bedside table, you see a notepad that says Little St. James, that's the name of the island, printed at the bottom of each page, and a set of reading glasses of similar type worn by Epstein in deposition footage. The most striking detail, we see a Panasonic console phone on each bedside table. The multiple lines are labeled. The speed dial buttons bear the names of Epstein's staff and associates. These are the individuals Epstein called most frequently from his private island. Nobody has ever seen these before. We assume the FBI and the Department of Justice has these, but have not released it. Here you have NY office. That's Jeff Epstein's New York City office. This is Karina Shuliak, Epstein's last girlfriend. Darren Off, that's Darren Indike, an Epstein advisor and lawyer. You have Rich Office, that's Richard D. Kahn, Epstein's advisor and lawyer. And Patrick Sell, that's Patrick McMullen, an Epstein associate. And STC Office, that's the Special Tax Office of the U.S. Virgin Islands. Here we have another phone that was actually in a different room, but we see some of the same names and some new names. We see a Carlos, a Danny, which looks to be scribbled out with Kim written above it, a Mike, an Anna, and a Juggly. Now, what's interesting about Juggly is at first we thought it was Ghislaine Maxwell's nickname, but from what we could see online, her nickname, Epstein referred to her as G-Max. Don't know who Juggly is, but maybe you in the audience can help us solve that mystery. These are all of the known associates that Epstein would call on speed dial. Again, we assume the United States government has this. This is the first time anybody has published these on the internet. You might be wondering why we aren't just dumping all of this immediately. Some people in the comments saying you should publish everything right now. Well, that's really not what journalists are supposed to do. We're trying to corroborate this and verify that what you're seeing is legitimate and understand who is on these phones before we report this information to you. People are messaging us every minute here at OMG at our Signal account, 914-491-9395. It's blowing up. Our Signal again, 914-491-9395, or they're sending a tip through our website or at tips@o'keefemediagroup.com. We're corroborating this material and backing it up to secure drives. Our next Epstein report drops soon. And you can subscribe to OMG to get these reports first, along with exclusive behind-the-scenes coverage and images that we have not included in this report behind our paywall at our website. Go online, subscribe to O'Keefe Media, and you enable us to be independent. You let us operate without fear and without favor. The New York Times, what they say they do is what we actually do. By subscribing to OMG, you let us operate impartially and without fear. Stay tuned.
Listen, there's not going to be a body bag in every single video. I love that James is taking us on this tour, that he's releasing this footage. It's more than the government ever has. It's more than the government's done. And we've been asking about this. James Comer told us last week that the government has nothing. And they won't release the documents because they have no documents. To which Pam Bondi followed up saying, no, we have tens of thousands of videos of Epstein. And they're pornographic in nature. And like, this is what's taking us so long. Okay. Question. Has the government ever, subpoenaed all these people? Like, can we get some of these people on camera telling us what was going on here? Why is your name on the speed dial from Epstein's bedroom and office? We don't know. But we know this. We have one of my producers' name is Danny. Right there. Danny's going to have to answer for something. And changing your name to Kim isn't going to do it, Danny. Okay? So, Danny, you got some explaining to do. Till then, ladies and gentlemen, it's your boy Benny. Like, share, and subscribe for more truth. We'll continue to bring it to you on this channel.